Hey YouTube, this is Dean making another vid. If you like my content, please consider hitting the like button. Also, please consider subscribing, as it is very much appreciated. Okay, Tony wanted to know how my store-bought fatwood came. Okay, this is the coal stuff. $14 a packet. So yeah, this is how it is. Honduras fatwood. Very almost positive. It all comes from Honduras. Anyway, this comes in processed sticks like that. This has, a lot of this has been processed by me. It usually is, that one hasn't been touched. Looks like that. Pretty much. Depends on how much. That one's pretty close to being untouched as well. You can see the resin in it. It's all pretty good stuff. That one's thick with resin. That's the orange coming out in it. One's solid resin all the way through it. I usually process it out, take out as much of the white stuff. The white stuff's just the normal pine. It's not as resinous. Once it gets down to this where it's yellow, orange, I take them out and use them as fir candles. So that's how the coal stuff is. This is the bunning stuff, same deal. Product of Honduras. There, 1.81 kilos. It's about $17 now to buy that. Pure stuff, haven't touched. That is just pure resin, crystalline out on the outside. Some of it's not as good. That's all pine sap. That one's not real good. It's still got a lot of bacon running through it. That one's pretty good. It's got pine sap running through it. If you go through, you can usually pick out most of the good ones. I go through it sometimes and pick out a lot of the good ones. Then processing. I have two. This is my big Stanley. It's number 4 Stanley plain. So I haven't given it a good clean in a while. I need to clean the bed because it's starting to get some resin on it. Makes it pretty sticky. And my little block plane. I prefer the block plane. It's a little bit easier to use. Again, another Stanley. Little block plane. A lot easier to use. How I process. I know this is pretty dangerous, but I get it. as you can see, and in short order I have ours Bunnings. Beautiful curls. So, Bunnings. Oh, sorry, nose is itchy. Smells beautiful, this stuff. See the resin coming out? That's pure resin. There, this stuff is just fantastic. This one. Pick where you're doing it from. See the resin coming out. Snap that one in half. I just wanted to expose that stick is pure resin. I just wanted to take all the that stuff there is hard. It's gone very hard. It's like almost glass. You just have to keep clearing the there you go. That's pretty much cleaned off. This hard bit here is pretty much not going to come off, but that stick is almost pure resin. The whole thing is pure resin, and I'd turn that into a fir candle because it's a solid bit of resin, and so is that. There's a solid bit of resin. And that's how I process my and as you saw, a couple of minutes and I got a bag full, and that will do me for weeks because I only use a little bit, I don't use a lot. Notice that fine stuff down the bottom. Fine stuff is really good too. You just put that in the bag, and that is my Bunnings fatwood that I use on my Two for Tuesdays. Done. And that's how I process my fatwood. I'll do a Coles one up or video, but yeah, that one will probably I'll do a little bit more cleanup, although that's pretty clean anyway. This stuff here doesn't really matter. It's pretty hard, and it's just the crystal bits here. But that's a fir candle, what I call a fir candle. Or they actually did call them fir candles in the thing. And you can put that in. I made a fir candle holder. Put that in, you light the end of it, and it just burns like a candle because it's pure resin. That's just saturated. They're absolutely saturated with resin. This one's pretty close too. It's got a bit of white here, but that one's pretty close. But as you can see, it's not as saturated because there's a line of white that going through. The white is the non-saturated bits of pine wood that hasn't soaked up the resin as much. But yeah, this will just burn and burn and burn. The only problem with these is they do drip black, a black soot onto the ground. So yes, you have to be careful when you light them up. Anyway, Tony wanted to see my block plane in action. This is how I do it. I've not cut myself, but I know it is a dangerous way of doing it. Don't leave comments in this thing saying I'm doing it dangerously. I know I am. Probably should put a cut glove on. The best way to do it is put it in a soft jaw, wooden jaw vise, and put it in and then plane it off. Dominic Minichetti does that. Yeah, a lot smarter way of doing it. I don't have that set up at the moment. I probably will eventually get that set up done and go from there, and yeah, get it done. But yeah, it's just a matter of time and space. I don't have the space downstairs at the moment to get it all sorted out for that. But anyway, Tony wanted to know what my store-bought looked like, and yeah, all the Bunnings and the Coles stuff looks pretty much the same, and to tell you the truth, it all burns the same. I've not found much of a difference as far as it goes, as far as quality goes. It's all pretty close. It's much of a muchness. It all comes from the same place, and the quality of it is very, very similar. I could not tell the difference. If you had sticks from Coles and sticks from Bunnings, you couldn't tell the difference. Yeah, they're pretty much the same. I think they're coming out of the same factory as such. It's just a wood processing plant that they have over in Honduras there, because the pine tree, the particular pine that they get is Honduras's national tree, but they are doing, I'm hoping, and from what I've read, that they do for every tree they cut down, they plant 3 more of them. So they're doing sustainable forestry. But that could be just marketing too, you wouldn't know, as far as it goes. But I'm hoping that they do that, because yeah, there is more and more of this stuff coming out all the time. So yeah, and I've bought a fair bit of it, and I keep advocating for people to buy it. So yeah, I hope they do that, because people are only buying more and more of it all the time. There's always pallets of it every time I go to Bunnings, and Coles is bringing more products of it all the time. So yeah, anyway, Tony wanted to see this in action and what it looked like. Anyway, I wanted to, anytime anyone wants to see my videos, if I can do them, I will do them. Anyway, thanks for watching.